Hello, my name is Carol Rappel, and I'm the president of the board of directors of the International Visitors Center of Chicago, IVCC. I'm talking to you here from the Ukrainian Institute of Modern Art. The folks here have been generous enough to let us have our holiday party where all of our members attend this year. We love to have our gatherings at different ethnic locations because, after all, we focus on globalism, and our mission is citizen diplomacy, one handshake at a time. We welcome visitors from around the world who are, for the most part, sponsored by the State Department. They come to Chicago and spend anywhere from 3 days to sometimes we have longer visitors who stay up to 5 or 6 weeks. We arrange professional visits with people who are in their field of interest. We also have social visitors, social hosts, I should say, who take people to the sites in Chicago or have them for dinner in their homes. And finally, we have some people who actually open up their homes so that our visitors can stay with them. We call those homestay hosts. So we have a wide variety of opportunities to become citizen diplomats. And I encourage any of you who might be watching to kind of go to our website, ivcc.org, and kind of see what we're all about.
Some of the highlights from this year's activities.
Well, I know Peggy's going to tell you how many visitors we had this year. I'm not sure of the total, but there have been quite a few from all over the world. But some of our recent events have been hosting the Middle East Partnership Initiative. We call that MEPI. These are women who come from the Middle East and have internships with Chicago corporations and stay with us for, I think it's about 10 weeks in the summer. And they're just a lot of fun. We like to take them to baseball games and Millennium Park and all kinds of places. Their comments are so interesting to us. They love Chicago. Chicago is sort of like a best-kept secret, I guess. People who are familiar with the United States think of New York or they think of the West Coast. They are always amazed at how friendly the people in Chicago are and how clean and beautiful the city is. But that's a lot of fun. Recently, we had a get-together that we called Olympic Dreams. It was the night before the Olympics, and we celebrated the fact that we had been chosen as one of the 4 host cities. Unfortunately, Chicago didn't get awarded the Olympics, but we still were very happy that we could celebrate our participation. And IVCC actually was going to provide home hosts. Should we have won the Olympics, we were going to provide up to 1,000 home hosts for families of athletes who could not otherwise afford to come to the United States. The concept of citizen diplomacy is an interesting one, and we always add one handshake at a time. Many of the people who visit our country have misconceptions about the United States. They judge it by things they've heard in the press, by some of our media stories. But when they come here, they're surprised at how open-minded, how family-oriented we are, and we in turn learn a lot about them and their cultures, and maybe get some of our misperceptions cleared up as well. It's important that we open up our homes and our friendship and extend the welcome to these visitors so that when they return to their countries, they can tell their fellow citizens about the experiences they've had in the U.S. And for the most part, they're positive. And this is the way to improve our image abroad. We know that in the past few years there have been issues with the image of the U.S. and what we stand for, and yet our visitors are always impressed and happy that they came and anxious to share their cultures with us as well. The ultimate goal is to increase global understanding so that we will act in a way that is respectful of other cultures, and that they will understand that our culture is not always what they've seen on sitcoms that are broadcast in their country, that our culture is very close to having the same ideals that they value and relish, and hopefully promote peace among peoples. Our ultimate goal is global peace.
Parfenoff, Director at the International Visitors Center of Chicago, and we're delighted to be here at the Ukrainian Institute of Modern Art for the evening. We are a nonprofit that hosts U.S. Department of State sponsored visitors from all over the world, including Ukraine. We had 778 visitors from 128 countries in 2009, so literally all over the world. And we practice citizen diplomacy. That's getting Chicagoans involved with foreign policy by reaching out to our international delegates, hosting them for professional meetings to share best practices and share what they do in their work, but also hosting them socially. So we have many visitors who go to families' homes for dinner and get to sit down with an American family or Ukrainian American family or Polish American or whatever their ethnic background is, and get to sit down and share their life, their stories. They get to the international delegates. You really have the opportunity to ask questions about religion and politics and things that they wouldn't probably talk about in professional meetings. And they really get a chance to share and get to know the United States and our citizens. This past year we had many groups in. Community Connections is a program that focuses on the former Soviet states, and we had a delegation from Odessa, Ukraine, that looked at human trafficking prevention and some best practices and tactics. And so they were here for 3 weeks. They stayed with some families in Ukrainian village as well as around the rest of the city. And they were able to go meet with a lot of law enforcement professionals as well as prosecutors and nonprofits that work with people in this field and get some good ideas, as well as make contacts that they can use back home. So we do a lot of fundraising here. We have events and activities, and that's a great way to come get to know us and our people. Is come to some of our events and meet some of our international delegates, but also meet our members who are excellent Chicagoans who love sharing the word about Chicago. So it helps support our work. The city of Chicago probably meets with a great number of our visitors as staff because they do excellent work in all their various areas. And the city is also very supportive of us as an organization, which is great because we're showcasing the city and we're very proud of it as well. Now, I just encourage you to go to our website at ivcc.org, to sign up for our email list where you can find out what's going on right in your own computer and to get involved with our work. We have a group of young internationals. There's our young professionals who get together socially every other month. They have dinner in an interesting new restaurant in town, very ethnic focused, and they'll have a speaker, and that's a great way to get involved as a young professional and meet other people who are interested in international affairs. So, thank you.